Okay, so EBL is normally in a group of about 8 or 10 people, and it's when you start off by reading a case, having a talk about what you understand and what you don't understand, and posing questions to the group. You normally then move on and kind of do a concept map, which is normally on the platform Miro, where you discuss biomedical, social, financial, and other issues within the case. After coming up with a concept map, you normally make a few questions. I'd say if you have more than 10 questions, then you're probably pretty unlucky that day. You go home and research them, and then you bring them back to the group then within a few days. And as a group, you all discuss your research, what you found interesting, what you didn't really understand. And my kind of tip for you guys during EBL is to relax, to enjoy it, and don't worry about how much you know, because I can guarantee that everyone's on a similar knowledge level. During these sessions, you normally have a chair, which is a leader, and a scribe as well. And I'd say really try and volunteer and put yourself forward for these roles, and also put yourself forward for contributions within the group, because that will really help not only your own development, but also your professional judgment. So during the whole EBL, you're being assessed on how you act, how you interact with other students, how much you encourage other students. So really try and get the most out of your sessions by speaking and encouraging others to do so as well.
Yeah, so looking at the case, we've seen that this woman's obese because her BMI is 32, and that's quite a big risk factor for type 2 diabetes. So I don't know if we want to have a little discussion about type 2 and the lectures that we've got coming up and what we've learned so far.
Yeah, that's something I agree. I think we should test for the blood sugars.
Hey guys, we're here at the Life Science Resource Centre, and today I'm going to show you through a bit about what we do here. The LSRC sessions are normally in groups of about 30 people, and it's a really interactive session, so it's really important that you get involved. Another key advice kind of tip I would give you guys is to really take on board the prep work and to try and do as much prep as you can before coming to the sessions. That means that you really have a good idea of what's going on beforehand, and it also means that if anyone asks any questions, you're able to answer them quite confidently, which always helps.
In LSRC, we can use a range of models and interact with the models. This helps us with learning anatomy. In LSRC, you learn a range of topics, including anatomy, physiology, microbiology, and immunology, just to list a few.
So in the Life Science Resource Centre, we cover a lot of AMK topics and end-of-year content, so it's really important that we concentrate in these sessions. A big tip for you, I would say, is before coming to the sessions, download the PowerPoint, have a read through, try and kind of get your head around some of the concepts, so that when you're here in the sessions, you can really take on board what the facilitators are saying.
Hello, my name's Abby. Welcome to the Clinical Skills SDL room. Let me show you around. Here you have the opportunity to practice taking blood from a model so you can be deemed competent in the exam and transfer this into the community. Examples of competencies include basic life support, respiratory and cardiovascular examinations, and these are things you'll be learning this year. Usually in year one, you come here around once a week in the morning or afternoon to practice your competencies and examination skills. Come get the bus with us. So using our cards, we get onto the bus and it takes us back to campus.
Jigsaw is a safe and secure place to discuss placements that you've had in the community in the past 2 weeks. Here you're able to discuss and reflect on your experiences and learn from other people's experiences, which I think is really helpful in the long term because it helps you become a better, well-rounded medical student. In Jigsaw, you'll be able to present on a range of topics with some of your peers, including public health issues, values as a doctor, and health-related problems. Here, you'll be able to discuss and make a PowerPoint presentation or interact with your group as much as you can. After your Jigsaw session, you'll be asked to write a Jigsaw reflective template, also known as a JRT. Here, you'll reflect on your community placement that you've had that week or the week before, and then also write about what you learned in the session. This is really good as a reflective piece of writing, which you'll be asked to do later on in years and as a junior doctor.
Hi, so I'm going to be talking about AMKs now. So AMKs, or the Applied Medical Knowledge Test, is a 125 question, but a single best answer test given to all students in the medical school. The questions are mainly based towards F1 doctors and will normally involve patient scenarios. Alright, so why do we do the AMKs? So AMK is done for two reasons. The first one being to assess our progression through medical school, and the second one to help us in our finals test in 5th year, which is basically the same as the AMKs. So my top tips for the AMKs: firstly, don't worry too much about them, especially the first one, as this one is a formative test and people aren't expecting you to know everything about medicine just yet, so don't worry too much. Secondly, do try and answer all the questions, because you never know, you might get one of them right and that could give you a really good mark at the end of the day. And my third tip is if you want to prepare for these tests, you can use a variety of resources. For example, textbooks such as the Oxford Clinical textbook. You could also use question banks such as PassMed or QuesMed, or you can even just go on the NHS website or NICE guidelines to learn about different treatments and different types of diseases.
In this section of the video, we'll be talking more about the social aspects of medical school, such as making friends, homesickness, and international student perspectives on medical school. In your introduction weeks, you'll be able to meet a range of medical students from your EBL groups, jigsaw groups, clinical skills, and LSRC groups. Here, you'll be able to make friends for life in the medical school by interacting with your friends and meeting them in the societies, as we mentioned before.
Being an international student can be quite daunting. I left my families and friends behind and everything I'm used to behind. It's a big change. But societies are a great way to meet new people. There are so many societies here: cultural societies, sporting societies, religious societies, and country-orientated societies, and even LGBTQ+ societies. Freshers is a term which is thrown around a lot, and it's a great way to meet new people, have a lot of fun, and explore the city. Travelling can be quite expensive, and there's so many guidelines associated with it which are constantly being updated on the university site. We get emails as well, and on the government websites. I recommend getting a rail card or a coach card because that will save you a lot of money. Sometimes you may feel down, so your pastoral tutors are always there whenever you need them, and they're really there to listen to your feelings, ideas and concerns, and they help you adjust to the university life.
Starting university is one of the biggest changes most of us will have ever experienced. You're dropped off, find yourself in your room on your own, unsure exactly what's going to happen. It's normal to feel nervous and miss the familiarity of home. I just want to remind you that that's okay and everyone's feeling the same. I struggled quite a lot at first, as I was so far from home I felt very isolated in Plymouth. My top tips for getting past the homesickness is to get involved and keep as busy as much as you can, while also keeping in touch with family and friends from home. If you are struggling or just not really feeling yourself, get in touch with the pastoral support within the medical school. I can assure you it's not nearly as daunting as it sounds. None of the pastoral staff are judging you at all or looking to report anything. They're just there as someone to have a chat to and make a plan going forward on how to improve things for you.